May 30th at 11:11 p.m., Archangel Michael tried to warn you before they did it, but it was too late. This message is only for you. Watch before they take it down. Sit down. Don't speak. Just receive. The moment is sacred. The hour is chosen. It is no accident that you are hearing this now. The divine calendar has not erred. It has marked May 30th, 11:11 p.m. as a spiritual flashpoint, a rupture in the veil between the visible and invisible. On that night, in that sacred second, something irreversible shifted. You felt it. You may have dismissed it as a passing thought, a subtle chill, a strange silence in the room. But the heavens recorded it. The numbers alone, 11:11, cry out in the language of the divine. 4 months standing like pillars of alignment, a gateway of awakening. It was never just a time, it was a code, a heavenly alarm. Archangel Michael, the commander of celestial legions, he came. He didn't knock. He ordered. He warned. And still it was ignored. Not because you were careless, not because you weren't chosen, but because the enemy moved quickly. They plotted in shadows. They acted while your spirit rested. The trap was sprung before your discernment could catch up. And now, this message must reach you before anything else does. This is not for the many. This is not a general word scattered like seed upon the masses. Though, this is your message, written with the ink of urgency and sealed with heavenly fire. This is not merely guidance. This is a lifeline for your spirit, for your future, for your position in the war that rages silently, fiercely, just beyond the veil of your 5 senses. They moved. They acted. But Michael saw it. And now he speaks again, not to the crowd, but to you. Listen. Still yourself. Heaven is pulling you into alignment, into revelation, into defense. You must hear this before they try to silence it again. Type "I am chosen" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 999 is now surrounding you. Before the clock strikes midnight, listen. Listen not with your ears, but with your spirit. Archangel Michael steps forth now, not as a symbol, not as a myth, but as the sword-bearing sentinel of the Most High, dispatched into your atmosphere with urgency burning in his wings. The heavens have thundered, and this message bypasses every earthly filter, every distraction, every false voice. It slices through the static of confusion. It lands with weight, and it is yours. You who have felt the tension in the air. You who have felt watched when no one was looking. You who have felt the ground tremble beneath your peace but could not name the cause. You are not losing your mind. You are awakening. And this message, this piercing, divine disruption, is your confirmation. Michael warned you. Long before May 30th at 11:11 p.m., he hovered. He whispered in dreams. He stirred your senses. But they, the unseen manipulators, the silent infiltrators, they moved faster. Not because they are more powerful, but because they are desperate. They knew something was shifting in you. They sensed your elevation. And so, they plotted in shadows while pretending to smile in your light. They acted while you slept. And now, it is too late to undo what they have done, but not too late to reclaim what is yours. This is not a general message. This is not for public consumption. This is not for the curious or the indifferent. This is your private transmission from the throne. This is the divine singling you out. Not to shame you, not to scare you, but to shake you, to awaken you, to prepare you. You have been marked, not by men, but by the Most High, and this mark has made you a target. but it has also made you a vessel. Michael speaks now. Heaven is speaking through fire. Clear your thoughts. Shut out the noise. This is sacred. Your timeline is being rearranged. Your reality is being confronted by eternity. This is the moment the angels were waiting for, when you would finally pause long enough to hear the truth. He warned you. You didn't ignore him. You just didn't recognize the warning for what it was. But now, the veil is thin. Now, the timing is exact. Now, 11:11 echoes again, not on your clock, but in your spirit. You are standing in the threshold of divine reversal. What they did cannot be undone, but it will be overwritten. This message is holy interruption. Don't argue. Don't analyze. Just receive. The realms are shaking. You've entered the hour of reckoning. May 30th, 11:11 p.m. It was not random. It was divine coding. A trumpet in disguise. A sword in soft breath. Now hear me, before they try to silence this again. Before the clock hits midnight, everything begins to move. And you must move with heaven. Type I am anointed in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1516 is now activated. You saw their face. You heard their voice. You trusted their presence. But what you didn't see, what your soul quietly trembled at, was what they carried behind their smile. You weren't paranoid. You were being protected from knowing too much too soon. Michael shielded your spirit, but now the curtain is drawn back. They shifted. Slowly at first. A comment here. A delayed response there. A strange pull in the atmosphere when they entered the room. You noticed it. You dismissed it. You said, maybe I'm overthinking. But your spirit was never wrong. It knew. It knew something had changed. It knew someone had shifted. They smiled at you but hid something behind it. Your lips said you were safe. Their tone said you were loved. But beneath it, in the realm where truth cannot be faked, they had already chosen to betray you. They had already made the silent trade. And Archangel Michael saw it all. He recorded the intention before the action. Heaven knew the setup before you ever sensed the ambush. This is why your emotions have been in chaos. This is why sleep has felt distant. This is why people around you started behaving like mirrors cracked with shadows. Because you were in the middle of an unseen exchange. The enemy attempted to fracture your mind by disrupting your heart. But you must understand this. Your spirit is stronger than their silence. The betrayal wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. It was quiet, subtle, wrapped in kindness, hidden in routine. That's why it hurt so much. Because it felt like a ghost walked out of someone you trusted, leaving their body behind but emptying their spirit. You questioned yourself. You doubted your discernment. But Michael says to you now, you were never wrong. You were never overreacting. You were sensing the shift before it was allowed to show itself. The confusion you've carried. It was spiritual interference. A fog deliberately sent to mute your instincts. But now the fog lifts. Now the truth pierces. They changed because your light exposed them. They couldn't stay as they were in the presence of who you are becoming. You're not crazy. You're chosen. If this message resonates with you and you feel moved to support, consider giving a super thanks with contributions of up to $20. Your kindness helps us bring more powerful content your way. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Type I am chosen in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1234 is now surrounding you. Listen closely, not with your logic, but with your inner witness. The turmoil you faced was never ordinary. What felt like arguments, tension, silence, or rejection was something far more strategic. This was not just fallout from human misunderstanding. Oh, this was divine testing, wrapped in human disguise. What you walked through was spiritual warfare cleverly cloaked as conversation, masked in routine, and hidden in familiar faces. Do you remember the moments you felt like peace was just out of reach? When your emotions danced between confusion and clarity? That was the battleground. That was the signal. You were being observed, not only by those around you, but by the heavens themselves. Michael wasn't just standing at a distance. He wasn't passive. He was watching, testing, recording your reaction. He was measuring your discernment in secret moments. Because this wasn't just about what happened to you, it was about what could be awakened within you. The attack didn't come because you were weak. The friction didn't rise because you failed. It came because of your light. Because the enemy smelled elevation. Because darkness always sniffs out destiny. What looked like people turning away was actually spirits reacting to your becoming. It wasn't about them. It was about you. You did lose people. Heaven removed camouflage. The confusion, the tension, the withdrawal, they were part of a divine filtration system. God sifted through your circle without your permission. Why? Because your next elevation requires clean air, not polluted loyalty, not inconsistent energy, not hidden envy. You were being watched, and not just by the people who betrayed you. Michael monitored every whisper, every silent word spoken in rooms you weren't in. And while you cried, while you questioned, while you wondered if you did something wrong, scrolls were being written. Your obedience was recorded. Your restraint was sacred. You didn't retaliate, not because you were weak, but because you were wise. And heaven took note. This was a test of your spiritual sight. Would you trust the feeling, even when the facts looked safe? Would you listen to that divine unease, even when smiles greeted you? Would you stay quiet, even when your flesh screamed to be heard? And now that you passed, everything changes. Because those who passed the test will now be trusted with more vision, more protection, more divine authority. You're not broken. You're battle-proven. And now, what was hidden is being exposed. What was veiled is now visible. What was tolerated is now being judged by heaven. Do not mourn the loss. Do not cling to what was. You've been upgraded, spiritually, emotionally, eternally. You've outgrown environments and been ushered into the divine council of clarity. Michael never left your side. He stood silently because silence was the strategy. But now, he speaks with fire. You passed. Now receive what is next. Type I am approved in the comments if you receive this message. Lesson code 4444 has now covered your timeline. The hourglass has turned. What began as whispers has now turned into movement. The plans that were once hidden, formed in shadows, conceived in envy, are no longer dormant. The enemy is not waiting. The timeline has accelerated. And this is your urgent warning. Their plan is in motion now. You must understand that while you prayed, they plotted. While you slept, they rehearsed betrayal. They did not act alone. They were influenced, inspired, infiltrated by something darker, something ancient. And that spirit hath been watching for a moment of vulnerability. That moment is approaching. Within 72 hours, decisions will be made in rooms you will not be invited into. Conversations will happen that you will only sense, not hear. But don't be fooled. Just because you don't see it, doesn't mean it's not happening. Michael is not here to alarm you. He's here to align you, because the storm is coming closer, and you must be unshakable. Check their posts. Listen to what they say publicly. But more importantly, watch who they message in silence. Watch who they connect with quietly. Patterns are being revealed. Do not ignore the subtle signals. You are being shown their next steps without them knowing. But know this, while their plan is real, their success is not guaranteed. Heaven has the final say. You're not helpless. You're not uncovered. But you are being given a window, a divine window, to stay alert, stay still, and let the angels work. This is a prophecy not to scare, but to prepare. They believe they are ahead. They think you are clueless. But Michael stands ahead of them. He's already intercepted messages, already blocked paths, already reversed conversations. But you must stay in obedience. Do not confront. Do not reach out. Let heaven handle it. What is closer than you think is not just danger, but deliverance. And it will happen almost simultaneously. Just as their attack reaches its climax, your protection will arise like a wall of flame. Not a moment before. Not a second too late. There's a countdown in the spirit. Egg. And when the hour hits, their scheme will collapse under the weight of your covering. If this message resonates with your spirit and you feel led to support, consider clicking the super chat or giving a super thanks. Even $10 goes a long way. Your support fuels more prophetic messages like this. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Type "I am covered" in the comments if you receive this warning. Blessing code 333 is shielding your home. Now that you've seen the signs and heard the warning, there is one command from heaven that must be followed without compromise. Be silent. Be still. Do not confront. Do not defend. This battle is above your voice, above your strategy, above your understanding. The protection over you is already active, but your silence is its key. Yes, you've been hurt. Yes, you've been misunderstood. Yes, they've distorted your name in rooms you never entered. But this is not the time to explain, to correct, or to chase clarity. Archangel Michael has drawn a circle around you. You have been placed behind divine shields, not because you are weak, but because your strength is needed for something higher than vengeance. Heaven has already assigned watchers to your case. Angels now walk beside you, not in robes of comfort, but in armor of flame. They are intercepting what you cannot see, blocking what you would never have noticed, diffusing what would have detonated, and the only thing they require of you is obedience and stillness. You must resist the urge to act, resist the temptation to post, to speak, to justify, because what's happening now is a spiritual litigation. You're not being fought, you're being evaluated. You're not on trial, your enemies are. Every word they speak against you is being weighed. Every scheme is being documented. Every false alignment, every veiled comment, every jealous connection is being exposed to the light of heaven. Michael speaks. Remain behind the veil. Heaven has hidden you for a reason. Your stillness is sacred. Your silence is fireproof. This is why you may feel disconnected. This is why your phone may be quiet. This is why your usual patterns have been disrupted. Heaven is rerouting your energy. It's placing you in a chamber where only divine frequencies can reach you. Because if you step out now, if you respond, you will interrupt what angels are orchestrating on your behalf. Do not be deceived by calm appearances. Just because the chaos isn't loud doesn't mean the battle isn't fierce. The war is real. but you've been covered by the wings of war angels. Michael himself has extended his sword over your life, not for battle, but for division. He's cutting you away from danger, cutting away from cycles, cutting away from the imitation of peace. You've been wrapped in veils of divine protection. Layers upon layers of light now separate you from what was meant to entangle you. This is not isolation. It's insulation. You're being preserved. You're being hidden, not from punishment, but for purpose. Take this moment seriously. Protect your energy. Speak less. Pray more. Move in silence. Honor the withdrawal. Because in the background, heaven is launching strategies that will reverse every weapon and elevate your position. And when it's time, when the skies shift, you will know. You will feel it. You will not need to ask anyone for permission. You will rise in power, not defense. In honor, not explanation. And those who thought they had you cornered will be blinded by your breakthrough. Type "I am protected" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 717 is forming a wall around your future. Hear this clearly. You are not who you were when this began. You have evolved in silence. You have matured in mystery. And now you've outgrown who they thought you were. They still picture you as the vulnerable one, the naive one, the one too kind to notice their betrayal. But heaven laughs at their miscalculation, because while they plotted, you were being transformed. While they misjudged, you were being recalibrated. And now, what they thought was your defeat will become your elevation. You are not the victim. You are the vessel. You are not the broken. You are the blessed. What they tried to bury you under has become the soil of your rising. And what looked like silence from you was actually preparation. You see, heaven never exposes prematurely. Heaven hides the chosen. Heaven conceals the anointed. And now, as the veil lifts, your true stature is being revealed, not to prove anything to them, but to fulfill everything in you. This shift is internal before it's external. You no longer crave approval from broken voices. You no longer seek love from sources that leak. You've remembered who you are, and that is your greatest weapon. Your silence is not weakness, it is wisdom. Your restraint is not fear, it is fire. You've learned to move without announcing, to build without broadcasting, to rise without noise. And now heaven is amplifying your name in the spirit, even while you stay still in the natural. You are being elevated in secret. Promotions are coming to you without applications. Favor is being assigned to your name without negotiation. Doors are being instructed to open when you arrive. This is not ambition. This is ascension. Let them talk. Let them speculate. Let them wonder why they no longer have access to you. You've entered a season where God will vindicate you without your participation. Your life will be your loudest answer. Michael stands over you now, sword drawn, voice raised. The time of empowerment has begun. What they tried to block will now be your banner. What they tried to bury will now bloom. Move in your authority. If this message resonates with your spirit and you feel led to support, consider clicking the super thanks. Even $50 makes a difference. Your support fuels more powerful messages just like this. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Type "I am risen" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 808 has now ignited your next level. There is something sacred about the way heaven rearranges your life. Something hidden. Something holy. And now, Archangel Michael stands again to speak what must be revealed, not what you wanted to hear, but what you were born to understand. You see, this betrayal was not random. This season of loss, of withdrawal, of disappointment, it was strategic. It was allowed, not as punishment but as positioning. What happened to you was not rejection, it was redirection. You weren't cast aside. You were covered. And heaven didn't allow the betrayal to destroy you. It allowed it to develop you. Because there are places you were called to that they could never follow. There are heights you are rising to where not everyone can breathe. And the betrayal, the secret conversations, the silent departure, the passive aggression, it all served a higher timeline. Michael declares, you were hidden for a time such as this. Hidden from false voices. Hidden from sabotage. Hidden from manipulation. Yes, you felt forgotten. Yes, you questioned the silence. But the silence was strategy. While you mourned the loss of familiarity, heaven was fortifying your future. You thought they left you behind. No, you were escorted ahead. The betrayal unlocked your next chapter. That was the divine transaction. It hurt, but it opened a gate. It stung, but it snapped a cycle. And now, the pain has become prophecy. You're not just surviving, you're being summoned. Your name has been whispered in rooms of light. Your destiny has been read aloud in heaven's courts. And now, what was concealed must be revealed. You've wondered why certain doors closed, why relationships faded, why opportunities dissolve. It's because God refused to let you carry weight into a season meant for acceleration. They couldn't come. It wasn't impellment, it was protection. Every detour was designed. Every no was necessary. Every delay was divine. The storm didn't break you. It built you. The silence didn't stop you. It shielded you. And now the shift begins. Michael steps forward and speaks again. The prophecy over your life has not expired. It has matured. And now, what was delayed will be delivered. What was prophesied will be performed. After this, nothing remains the same. The betrayal will be the testimony. The pain will be the platform. And those who misread you will now watch you rise. Not in arrogance, not in revenge, but in divine release. Because this was never about proving them wrong. It was about proving God right. You are stepping into prophecy, and it will unfold not with drama, but with divine precision. Heaven is aligning connections. Heaven is opening the earth. Your name, yes, your name, is now being carried by angels to the next phase of promise. Type I receive the prophecy in the comments if this resonates with your spirit. Blessing code 606 is now unlocking hidden doors for you. Now that you've seen what was hidden, now that the veil has been torn, you must decide. You must move. This moment requires a response. Not later. Not when it feels safe. But now. Because alignment is time sensitive. And heaven is not holding the gates open forever. Say yes. Step forward. Not in fear. Not in hesitation. But in holy conviction. Because everything around you is shifting in anticipation of your obedience. The wind is waiting for your agreement. The earth is listening for your yes. Your next level won't be unlocked by effort. It will be unlocked by obedience. You must respond before the enemy regroups. Before doubt rises. Before fear disguises itself as logic. This is not the time for overthinking. This is not the time to consult the ones who weren't part of the vision. This is your divine deadline. Heaven is calling. And Archangel Michael stands at the threshold, not as a comforter, but as a commander. He is holding the door. But you must walk through. You must leave behind the comfort of excuses. You must abandon the familiarity of fear. Because where you are going, nothing old can follow. You were born for this time. That's why the warfare intensified. That's why the pressure increased. You thought it was punishment, but it was preparation. Every storm trained you. Every silence strengthened you. Every rejection refined you. You are not too late. You are not unqualified. You are not forgotten. You are activated. And now, the oil over your life demands motion. Not for attention, but for alignment. Not for applause, but for accession. Declare it now. I rise. I accept. I go forward. Let the heavens record your agreement. Let the angels document your decision. Because your yes is not just permission. It's partnership. Heaven is ready. Are you? Don't wait for the next confirmation. You are the confirmation. Don't wait for them to see you. Heaven already saw you. The time is now. The shift is here. And the only thing missing is your step. Woo boldly. Speak prophetically. Walk humbly. Heaven has already go ahead. Michael has cleared the path. Now move. Type ISAYYES in the comments if you accept your divine call. Blessing code 1111 is activating destiny paths before you. While you cried, heaven moved. While your spirit wept in silence, something sacred was negotiated in realms you could not see. This was no ordinary grief. It was a divine alarm. Every tear you shed, every breath you fought to catch, every time you stared into darkness wondering if it would ever make sense, it was not wasted. Not one drop, not one ache, not one silent scream went unnoticed. And now Archangel Michael speaks with a thunderous tenderness. While they slept renegotiated. Yes, beloved, the angels were in council. While you felt alone, scrolls were being rewritten. While they went on as if nothing happened, heaven was adjusting the blueprint of your life. Divine exchanges were initiated. Sorrow was traded for strategy. Betrayal was exchanged for breakthrough. Confusion was substituted with clarity. This was never about pain. It was about positioning. And now, something sacred is being returned to you. Something eternal. Because in the spirit realm, heaven doesn't just observe injustice, it intervenes. And while the enemy whispered, plotted, and pounced, Michael stood before the throne with your name on his breath. You were absent. You were advocated for. Your case was presented before the courts of heaven. And the verdict? Restoration. A decree. Acceleration. What they tried to steal, emotionally, spiritually, even physically, is now being reversed. But it wasn't just given back. It was exchange. You won't receive what you lost. You'll receive what was promised. There is a divine difference. This exchange happened while you had no words. That's how sacred it was. Heaven doesn't need your performance, only your permission. And when you didn't even know how to pray, your groans were enough. Your endurance was prayer. Your silence was worship. Your stillness was intercession. And so now, the trade is complete. The scroll has been sealed. Your name is written upon it. And Michael declares, the deal is done. The delay is over. The release begins. This is not about vengeance. It's about justice. It's about divine order. You were never forgotten. You were being fortified. And now, what they meant for harm will be handed back, multiplied, purified, sanctified. You will feel it. You will sense it. Doors will open where none existed. Favor will find you even when you stop searching. That is how you'll know the trade was successful. And so, stand tall. Wipe your eyes. Heaven has spoken. Your pain birthed access. Your sorrow wrote scrolls. Your midnight birthed a morning no man can cancel. If this word finds your spirit, and you feel led to support, consider giving through Super Thanks. Even $10 helps us carry this flame forward. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the Support Here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Type "I receive the exchange" in the comments if you claim this moment. Blessing code 2121 is now delivering what was hidden. Now the tables turn. Now the balance shifts. Now the weight of divine justice begins to descend. This is not human justice. This is not karma. This is not coincidence. This is heaven's hand. Firm, flawless, final. You were never forgotten. You were never abandoned. You were reserved for a moment just like this. Hear this clearly. Justice is not delayed. It is divine. And divine justice does not move on human timelines. It moves with holy accuracy. It moves when the soul has matured. It moves when the truth has had time to marinate in silence. And now, the silence breaks. Now, the whisper becomes a roar. Michael declares the season of reversal is here. They thought they won. They thought they got away with it. They thought their light would live longer than your truth. But heaven has a long memory, and heaven keeps perfect records. Every word they twisted, every alliance they formed in shadows, every plan they disguised as kindness, it is now being judged. And the judgment is this: reversal. The weapon that was formed, it didn't prosper. The trap they set, it caught them instead. The distance they created, it became your launch gun. The gossip they spread, it became your advertisement. You don't have to lift a finger. You don't have to return the insult. You don't have to plead your case, because heaven already ruled in your favor. The divine gavel has struck the courts of glory, and the echo is being felt in your timeline. Favor is shifting. Doors are opening. Conversations are being had about you, not to destroy you, but to deliver you. They will see your elevation, not because you wanted revenge, but because God wanted restoration. They will watch your name be mentioned with honor. They will witness you be honored in the same arenas they tried to erase you from. And you will remain quiet. You will walk in dignity. You will rise in grace. You see, this reversal is not loud. It is royal. It is not petty. It is prophetic. Because God is not trying to prove a point. He's revealing His promise. And nothing can stop a reversal that was written in glory. Michael hovers over your life now, his wings casting shadows over old wounds, his sword severing the final strands of old bondage. And he says, "You've waited. You've wept. You've walked in silence. Now watch what heaven does. Justice has not only arrived, it is overtaking you. Recompense is not just owed, it's already in motion. And you are about to live in the harvest of integrity. Not perfection. Integrity. You stayed true. You didn't retaliate. And now, heaven responds. Type "I receive divine justice" in the comments if you're ready to walk into your reversal. Blessing code 505 is restoring what they thought they buried. And now it is finished. This message was never meant to simply inform. It was sent to transform. It was your warning, yes, but also your release. A sacred alarm, a heavenly disruption, a divine appointment with truth. From the first whisper of betrayal to the final word of justice, every moment has brought you closer, not to who you were, but to who heaven always knew you were becoming. Archangel Michael stands at the edge of your destiny now, not with a warning, but with a blessing that seals every prophecy spoken, every reversal decreed, every divine exchange confirmed. You are covered. You are protected. You are known. You are held. You are sealed by the flame of the Most High. Michael's sword is no longer raised in battle. It now rests over you in benediction. His wings, once poised in defense, now stretch wide in blessing. You are not just surviving. You are ascending. So walk. Walk forward, not in fear, but in fire. Not in sorrow, but in sovereignty. You are no longer at the mercy of circumstance. You are moving by the command of heaven. You are no longer defined by the hands that hurt you. You are marked by the one who chose you. This is your moment of rising. This is your sacred shift. And as you leave this message, do not return the same. You are not the same. You have been warned. You have been awakened. You have been armed. And now you are sent. You are seen. You are sealed. You are sent. Now rise silently, powerfully, divinely. Type "I am sent" in the comments if you've received this message. Blessing code 777 now walks before you into every future door.